Aspetto qui, aspetto, il temporale aspetto che questo calvo arrivi alla fine. This is the soundtrack of Sopranos, a TV series that aired in America, and one of my favorite TV series. It is about the Italian mafia. I'm sorry, in my mind. It is a series about the Italian mafia, and this song that I was singing before, it's called Certamente Madre Blue by a beautiful band, Madre Blue. So this song is a soundtrack that plays when one of the main characters in the TV show, in that show, which is very dark, and I don't want to watch it again. I don't know why. I will tell you why I don't want to watch it again. But even though like it is a great show, because sometimes even when darkness is portrayed in those TV shows and movies, sometimes it has like something good. You know what I mean? But I want to talk specifically about the character into that from that TV show, and the character is Christopher Moltisanti, which who Christopher is. Christopher is the nephew of the capo of the New Jersey Italian mafia. His uncle is Tony Soprano, one of played by the great actor, rest in peace, James Gandolfini. Gandolfini, man, like Zaimi. Uh, I really have a kind of, I don't know, a vision of a TV series of or even a movie about an Albanian gangster, because it hasn't been yet played in the big TV screen or like movie screen, and I really would love to play something like that. But as I said, Christopher. So Christopher is the nephew of Tony, right? And Christopher has a problem, and his problem is addiction. Christopher is addicted to drugs, and specifically heroin, which is one of the strongest drugs to get sober, to fight and get sober forever. It's like I haven't I have never tried it, and I will never do it. But um, Christopher tries, and all the characters there, like his friends, like they try like to help him, and his mother and his girlfriend. Everybody is trying to help Christopher to get rid of that addiction, and I think he even tries like to get into the 12-step program and all that. And a trip happens, and Christopher and a couple of other characters, because I do not remember like so much of it, but I want to like get something out of it, and you will see like further, you will listen further what I'm about to tell you. But they go to Italy, right, to do some business, and Christopher, in that trip to Italy, meets someone else, and eventually he relapses. And this song, the Madre Blu, certamente aspetto qui, aspetto il temporale, aspetto che questo calvo arrivi alla fine. I do not speak Italian, but I can sing that song like from the beginning till the end, and with an Italian pronunciation, right? Because when Christopher relapses, right, and he's laying in a bed with some chick there, and that guy who he met, he clearly relapses on heroin. And in the series, he does a lot of relapses. I think he gets high often and all that, and it shows like how dark uh, his life, and the way that he battles with that addiction, because deep inside he doesn't want, like every other addict, right? And the title of this video is "There is no chemical solution in a spiritual problem." And I think that Christopher said that. right? And that is so, so, so true. And people who battle with addiction, they have like a spiritual problem. And I will also like put myself in, because I have battled with addiction. And sometimes uh, you are born to your soul. I don't know if I can say that, because a lot of people might call me like woo woo and all that stuff. But I believe that our souls come here in earth, and before that they make a couple of contracts with God, and they are like, like, I want these challenges, and I want to do these, and I want to experience all the pain, all the relapses, all that stuff, this addiction, that addiction. And when they come like on earth, everything is already set up for them to experience such kind of things. Because when you say to a non-addict, to or like to somebody who hasn't like who never like experienced your addiction, that, man, like I'm struggling, or like I'm fighting, he or she or they might judge you, and they might be like, how the fuck, like, you're acting this way, why are you so weak, why are you doing this, why are you behaving that way, what is happening with you? And be a man, especially like if you are a male, like the first thing that they, man up, be a man, like what the fuck are you doing, like. And they think that with like with becoming like macho. And the thing is that those guys like who portray, who do that, they are not even macho themselves. But um there is a thing that I was thinking a lot. Why do you have like to experience all those, especially the addictions, right? And what are you trying like to fulfill? Because at the end of the day, an addiction is like, um it's like a tiny devil, right? That stays inside of you. And sometimes the tiny devil like wakes up, and especially like where you are into that addiction, like how deep you are into that addiction, the tiny devil. And the more deep you are into that addiction, the louder and bigger the tiny devil becomes, because at the end of the day it's a tiny devil, but and it stays inside of you. And every day, almost every day, I guess, right? Depends on the addiction, but every day it says that it wakes up and it's like, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. And if you do not feed it in a way, right? um if you do not feed it, in the beginning it starts like with empathy, right? Like yesterday I was like telling like with empathy, but no, like the tiny devil, like, oh come on, let's go. It starts to brainwash you, you know what I mean? um it will be just a tiny little bit of it, and do not worry. And after that we will never like get more of it and all that stuff. If you neglect it, then it will start attacking you, like. And if you are not aware of it, it will like produce like fearful thoughts, and fear. But what if this happened, what if that happened, and all those poison, bad stuff, bad stuff, bad stuff, you know what I mean? Because it wants you like to get scared. And it's like a poison inside of you. And if you still do not like give into it, then it will become like more strategic in a way, right? It will be like it will wait for you just to slip up a little bit, you know what I mean? And then boom, it will like. So yeah, but what makes a human being, like do that? uh, I don't believe in luck, to tell you the truth. um, as I said before, I believe that souls come here in earth. They do universal, how can I call that, universal contracts, energetic contracts, soul contracts, right? They do their soul contracts, and boom, they get into earth and they experience whatever it is that the souls have chosen to experience. So maybe it's like written, like to be experienced. But I strongly believe that uh, if you really want to get sober, right, and you really want to fight whatever the addiction it is, I really believe that in your soul contract there is like a line somewhere that it says that you have to beat the addiction, whatever it happens, however fearful, strong, difficult it is. You have to keep going, and you should not stop, and you should live the rest of the life, like sober and happy and full of lessons that you accumulated while you were like high on that addiction. And um, one of my biggest addictions, like it was corn for me, and I really made this video like 3 times, and I already made it like couple of years ago, trying to react to one of my songs that I did a mushroom trip there, and I talked there too. But I was like so ashamed that I didn't upload that video, and I deleted it. And now these two, I stopped them. You know what I mean? Like I stopped them, and like I clicked pause. I couldn't speak. I was like so afraid to. So not afraid, but more. I was like ashamed to talk about it, right? And one of my biggest addictions, I won't say like the real of it. You will understand it. It was like pornography. It was like the hardest addiction that I had to face. I was an addict since I was like a teenager, and then all my 20s. It was like my biggest like chemical solution to the spiritual problem that I had inside of me. That I believe that I kind of solved a lot of it, right? I don't want to say that I'm 100% sure that I solved it all and I healed completely and all that stuff, because I really want to heal more and live more my life in a more beautiful way. And but yeah, it was like the biggest. It was like, I would say like pornography, corn. It is like the first one. Then I would say like weed and cigarette smoking, which was like, I was like addicted to it when I was like in college. Weed and cigarettes for 2 years, I think, 2.5 years, 3 years. But what else? Like coffee. Yeah, man. But if you really understand that I get like into coffee like so much, you know what I mean, like that it drives me into insomnia, then you will realize that it's not like a funny game, you know what I mean. But so pornography was like the most difficult, and it and in a way it was like the most chemical out of everything. Like when you get into that corn, and boom, you get that fix, and boom, zoom, like your brain, a lot of people, they do not understand like how strong it is, you know what I mean. Like I would say that it is, in my opinion, it is the online heroin, because it doesn't do anything to you, right? Like you look fantastic, you look amazing. Well, your aura is destroyed, obviously, but you look like everybody else, right? But it destroys all your dopamine. It destroys your manhood. If you are a woman, it destroys your confidence, your whatever. But it destroys your spirit. And in my journey to America, like all that was happening, right, was like corn, isolation, more corn, more isolation, fear, stress, anxiety, insecurities, PTSD, madness, more madness, anxiety, more insecurities, and when I read about it and about the bad effects that it had, like to your core, to your psyche, to your spirituality, to your spirit spirituality, to your spirit. Like I really, really, really uh, gave it a shot, like to get it off, right? And I realized how hard it was, because it was like, in a way, it was like an extension of me. It was an extension of my personality. It was an extension of who I was at the time. It in a way, it was like you are an overweight person, right? And you stop eating fast food, and you start exercising, but it is so difficult for you because it takes a lot of time to get rid of all that excessive weight, right? And you have to also put in to running or gym or whatever, exercise and diet and everything, and your mind goes crazy and all that, but you have to keep going, and maybe you relapse. The same is like, it's like everything else, right? And the same goes like with corn, right? Every time something stressful might have happened, in my life, I would like relapse, and I would be like, fuck, man, like, and then I will realize like how bad it was, how what a poison it was, like to my brain. Like my brain would hurt, my body would go numb, uh, the left side of my arm would go numb. And it's not like a placebo, like a lot of people like who are already addicted to it. It is layers into addiction. Like a lot of people like who say it's nothing, like they are already like deep into it, like heavy addicts, and they will never like cut it off. They will die addicts, right? But it is so difficult, man. It is so difficult. And every time like I would like relapse or sleep or all that stuff, I would like listen to this song, and I would like think like about like the Madre Blood Certamente and Christopher Moltisanti from Sopranos, and whatever there is there in your soul, like in your spirit, whatever spiritual problem you have like deep inside of you, right? And a parenthesis, when I wouldn't feed my corn addiction, right? And I will stay like to become sober, and I will attack it. You know what I mean? Like I would attack it. I would say like to myself, no, and I wasn't relapsing at the time. Like if a big period will happen, like let's say 1 month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, like then I would get like into a deep depression. You know what I mean? Deep depression, like a lot of tears, man. A l- you won't even realize what it was like, isolation, but in a feeling that I would never feel in my life, because whatever would happen in my life, even though I was like isolated, I at least had my imaginary harem. You know what I mean? And I believe that that was like a main element, that my life was in a way like got in a way where it got into isolation, into fear, anxiety, insecurities. It took me like a lot of years to release my first song, like my first album, right? And I was like very insecure. Even when I released it, I was like very scared. Like, what if everything fails and all these years from my life? But yeah, and the whole thing is like, why? Why do you fall? Why do you fall into such things? Um, I went like through all these kind of forums and all that stuff, and in my opinion, I was always like, oh, it starts like with your family, with society, with your circumstances and all that stuff, and that's why like you fall into, especially into corn. Um, but I would read a lot of people that were like, no man, excellent family, great family, parents, exceptional. Their relationship was exceptional, environment, great, no bullying, no nothing. Everything was great, but I fell into it. You know what I mean? Like it sucked me off as a person, as a human being. It ripped me off, and it was like, so. And that's why I have like to come to a conclusion that uh, it is a soul contract, man. Like at the end of the day, it is a soul contract. It I don't know, and but yeah, I'm still searching. Like, what is my spiritual problem? Because even though like I cut off that corn, now I have like that little Tasmanian devil inside of me keeps screaming, I want coffee, I want chocolates, right? And it is so funny, like to you, and especially like to me nowadays, because chocolate is like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you're addicted. Like, I want my chocolate. I want my coffee, my cup of coffee. Like, and yeah, man, that's it. I believe that there is no chemical problem in a spiritual. There is no chemical solution into a spiritual problem. You see, like, I cannot even express myself because the subject that what I'm sharing with you right now, like, it is very shameful for me, and in a way, I wanna like get off that shame. Like, I wanna close that book from my life and toss it to the side and move on, right? And heal and become a new person, a new version of me, and leave everything behind, right? And if there is more healing for me to do, I accept it. It is only God that knows what it is there for me. And yeah, there is no chemical solution in a spiritual problem. Try to heal, try to find the problems in your spirit, and once you do that, um, then you would not need any chemical solution. But for me, what helped me was starting to become aware of it. A lot of starting to become aware of the little devil inside of me, and that it exists there and it will talk. And maybe all those fears and all those bad thoughts, they are the devil, right? The little devil that talks. A lot of meditation, excessive faith in God, and yeah, I did a couple of shroom trips that people will consider them bad trips. I wasn't considering them bad trips. I believe that mushrooms help you, but in moderation, right? And they will reveal a lot of stuff that it is there since your childhood. So yeah, that was it. Peace and love.